What if the greatest lesson in wisdom came not from years of study, but from being outsmarted by a cunning jackal? This is exactly what happened to one proud sage in the timeless wisdom of the Panchatantra. Deep in the heart of ancient India, where the Ganges winds through sacred groves, lived a learned sage named Devasri. He had spent decades mastering the Vedas, memorizing countless shlokas and performing elaborate rituals. His ashram attracted students from distant kingdoms, all eager to learn from his vast knowledge. Devasri's reputation for wisdom spread like wildfire across the land. But there was one problem: with all this knowledge came immense pride. Devasri believed himself superior to all living beings. He looked down upon common folk, dismissing their simple wisdom as ignorance. In his mind, true knowledge belonged only to those who had studied the sacred texts for years. One scorching summer day, as Devasri sat beneath a banyan tree reciting mantras, a clever jackal named Gamya approached. The jackal had been observing the sage for weeks, noting his arrogance and condescending behavior toward visitors. Gamya bowed respectfully and said, "O great sage, I have heard of your immense wisdom. Would you honor me with a test of knowledge?" Devasri laughed mockingly. "A jackal wants to challenge me. You are nothing but a scavenger living off scraps. What could you possibly know that I don't?" The jackal remained calm and humble. "Perhaps nothing, revered one, but I have a simple riddle that has puzzled me. If you can solve it, I will serve you faithfully. If not, perhaps you might consider that wisdom comes in many forms." Intrigued by the audacity and confident he could easily defeat this forest creature, Devasri agreed. "Very well, present your riddle, foolish animal." Gamya smiled and posed his question. "What is it that the more you share, the more you have? What grows stronger when given away freely? What becomes worthless when hoarded but priceless when distributed?" Devasri pondered deeply, his mind racing through scriptural references, mathematical concepts, and philosophical principles. He considered material wealth, but that diminishes when shared. He thought about food, water, and possessions, but none fit the description. Minutes turned to hours as the sage struggled, his confidence slowly crumbling. Meanwhile, Gamya waited patiently, occasionally offering water and shade to the increasingly frustrated sage. As evening approached, Devasri finally admitted defeat. "I cannot solve your riddle, jackal. What is the answer?" Gamya's eyes twinkled with gentle wisdom. "The answer is knowledge itself, great sage. True knowledge grows when shared, becomes stronger when taught to others, and loses all value when hoarded in pride. A teacher who refuses to share his wisdom with the humble is like a lamp hidden under a basket." The sage sat in stunned silence as the profound truth hit him. He had spent years accumulating knowledge but had forgotten its true purpose. Knowledge was meant to enlighten others, not to build walls of superiority. His pride had made him spiritually poorer despite his vast learning. Gamya continued gently, "You see, revered sage, I may not know the Vedas by heart, but life has taught me this simple truth. Every creature, from the smallest ant to the mightiest elephant, carries some wisdom. The truly wise person recognizes this and learns from all." Tears of realization filled Devasri's eyes. He bowed deeply to the jackal, understanding that humility was the foundation of all genuine wisdom. "Forgive me, friend Gamya. You have taught me more in one evening than I learned in decades of study. I have been a fool disguised as a sage." From that day forward, Devasri transformed completely. He welcomed all seekers regardless of their background. He learned from farmers about patience, from children about wonder, and from animals about living in harmony with nature. His ashram became a true center of learning where wisdom flowed freely in all directions. The Panchatantra teaches us through this beautiful story that genuine wisdom always comes with humility. Knowledge without humility is mere information, but knowledge seasoned with humility becomes transformative wisdom. True learning happens when we remain open to lessons from unexpected sources. In our modern world, we often fall into the same trap as Devasri, believing that formal education or professional success makes us superior to others. But wisdom reminds us that every person we meet knows something we don't. The janitor might understand resilience better than any textbook. A child might grasp joy more completely than any philosopher. The next time you feel proud of your achievements, remember the sage and the jackal. Stay curious, stay humble, and stay open to learning from everyone you encounter. After all, the greatest teachers often come in the most unexpected forms.